our final concept of this unit is absolute value inequalities. So these stem directly from the compound inequalities we just learned about. So let's talk a little bit about them. So if I have an absolute value inequality involving less than, I'm going to end up with an intersection, which means I'm going to end up with an and inequality. Okay, so the inequality absolute value of x is less than a asks what values of a have an absolute value less than a. The solutions are numbers between negative a and a. So I'm going to have a intersection between two numbers. Okay, the same thing applies to less than or equal to. So over here, if I have an absolute value inequality involving greater than, I'm going to end up with a union, which is an or inequality. I'm going to have something going one way and another number going the other way. All right, so let's get started solving some of these problems. All right, I'm going to use blue. Let's do number 1. So remember, with absolute value equations, my goal is to get absolute value by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3 before I do anything. And I have absolute value of x is less than 9. Okay, I have an absolute value involving less than, which is this guy here, which tells me I'm going to have an intersection. So I'm still going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to split it up into two different inequalities. So I have x is less than 9, but x is greater than negative 9. Okay, so again, I can just, there's an easier way to do this. I didn't have to do this. I could just have written x is greater than negative 9, but less than 9. Okay, once I get to this point, that is exactly the answer I'm looking for. Greater than negative 9, but less than 9. So to graph that, I put negative 9 here and 9 there. Open circle at both of these, and I'm in between. Okay, so let's do the next one. My absolute value is already by itself, so I'm going to make two different equations. This is, again, a less than, so I'm going to have an and inequality, an intersection where they're in between. Okay, so I'm going to go x plus 4 is less than or equal to 2. And x plus 4, I flip the sign and I change the sign. Okay, so then I just solve. Minus 4, x is less than or equal to negative 2. Minus 4, x is greater than or equal to negative 6. So the way I would write this is x is greater than or equal to negative 6, but less than or equal to negative 2. Okay, so we're going to graph negative 2, negative 6, close circle, in between. And that's it. So we got one more like this one, number 3. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Absolute value of x is less than or equal to 3. So my solution are kind of just like the one above. X is greater than or equal to negative 3, but less than or equal to 3. So here's negative 3, here's 3, close circle, in between. And that's it. Those are all the inequalities that have to deal with less than. So absolute value inequalities involving less than. In the next video, I'm going to talk about any absolute value inequalities that involve greater than.